Hello! The following video will be a clip from my stream. Hope you guys enjoy. Who am I sad to see go? Okay, I like TF, but he's getting replaced by Brand, I think. I'm happy Katarina's gone. I didn't like that iteration of Katarina. I love Katarina, but I didn't like that version of her. Yeah, I didn't like that version of her. Heimerdinger, you know, dude, they're doing Heimerdinger dirty, man. In Arcane, he gets shit on. And in the Arcane theme TFT, he gets fucking removed. Man, they're doing my boy Heimerdinger dirty, but I didn't want to see Heimerdinger. I didn't like Heimerdinger as a unit, honestly. Tarek, I'm kind of sad to see Tarek go. I really like Tarek as a plug and play unit. I thought he was awesome. You know, more so than Tarek in past sets, always gets like looked over. In this set, he definitely got his moment. He definitely got his moment for sure. So I'm happy about that. I mean, I'm happy he got his moment, but I'm sad to see him go. But he gets replaced by Senna, and Senna's pretty cool. I'm sad to see Fiora go. I feel like Fiora only reached her proper potential probably like the last month of the set. So got to see Heim, Samira, and Akali removed. Yeah, I'm happy to see Heimerdinger, and I'm happy Imperials are gone. I did like Samira, but I'm happy Imperials are gone. And I like Akali as a unit, but I'm fine to see her go. But yeah, I'm kind of sad Fiora's gone. I feel like she really didn't have her moment in the sun. She had it for like a minute. Like she finally had her moment in the sun the last couple of patches. But yeah, I wish she got to stay I wish she got to stay a little bit longer. Yeah, Akali. I like Akali as a unit. I don't mind her going. It's fine. I'm sad Protector's gone. I love Protector as a trait. Not just because I like playing reroll Protectors. I've loved Protectors since set 3. Set 3.5. So Kog'Maw, I'm fine with Kog'Maw going. He's kind of a boring unit, if I'm being honest. Even though he's one of my most played carries, I don't really like playing him. I think he's pretty boring. The reason why I like playing reroll Protectors is I like playing Graves, Garen, and Kassadin. Those units are fun. Lysandra getting removed. She's getting removed because Morgana is getting added, as well as Renata, that's her name, right? Is now the Chemtech Scholar. So she had to be removed for Morgana and stuff like that to be added. So because Lysandra and Morgana are very similar units. So cool. Dr. Mundo's gone. Fine with Dr. Mundo being gone. I liked Mundo overall as a unit. I felt like he was strong the entire set. So I think he really got his moment to shine. It was the entire set. So I think he got some good stuff in, and you know, I'm happy to see him go because he's getting replaced by not Alistair. Alistair is replacing Sion. Sion, I think Sion was awesome. I think he had some patches where he sucked, some patches where he was good. And I think Sion overall was a really good unit, a good addition to set 5, or not set 5, set 6. And I felt like he got all of his time to shine. I'm really happy Alistair is going to be here because the stuff I predicted with Alistair, or I wanted Alistair added to TFT for a long time. And I was like, please make him like headbutt pulverize. And it seems like that's what he does. Well, he does headbutt, but he headbutts into the team and then he taunts, I believe. Yeah, Sion's getting replaced by Alistair. Yuumi is getting replaced by Silco. Yuumi was probably overall the best unit in set 6. Like, if you had to take every single patch, Yuumi was good on every single patch. So yeah, Yumi's gone and Silco's getting replaced. Heard Silco is really good, but a little bit weird to play around at first. So yeah, I'll be excited to play Silco. Okay, cool. Garen, yeah, I'm sad to see Garen go, honestly. I was a big Garen hater, but I love Protector. And I thought Garen was kind of cool. Cool. Tristana, pretty boring unit. Happy to see her go. That's all I have to say. Samira, I like Samira a lot. I just hated Imperials. I thought she had a really cool design, how she could use her blade and stuff like she does in League. Janna, you know, I'm kind of sad to see Janna go. I like Janna, but overall, I think she's kind of a boring unit. I felt like you didn't properly get to utilize her like positioning thing all that much. Like it felt like sometimes you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this big brain and frontline my Janna to CC the whole enemy team, or you're like, you try to come up with these big brain shots, but what it really just turns into is you just put Janna right next to your carry, so that if anybody dive bombs your backline, then she pushes them out. But sometimes she doesn't cast. I don't know. I feel like Janna never got to. Janna was always good, but I feel like she never, got to get to her peak potential. So, but I thought that was just, she was never gonna get there. It's just kind of boring. I'm glad Urgot's gone. Honestly, I never really had very much fun playing Urgot. Kind of a boring unit, if I'm being real. Trundle is getting replaced by Rek'Sai. I thought Trundle was a pretty boring unit. Fun to play sometimes, but like I always found him to be like boring Warwick. You know what I mean? They're both melee carries, both auto attack focused, but I thought Warwick was a little bit more fun. So I'm happy to see him go and he gets replaced by Rek'Sai. Maybe Rek'Sai will be cool. Shaco, I'm not a big Shaco player. And then Lux, so I don't care if Shaco's gone. I think Shaco's a cool unit, I guess, but I'm not a big Shaco player. And then Lux, I'm so happy Lux is gone, man.
Acts on the meta.
Lux is getting replaced by Ahri, and from everything I've seen, Ahri is gonna be really fun. I wish they would just add set 4 Ahri. I love set 4 Ahri. I think she was so fun, but set 4 Ahri is also bullshit. So like she either one-shots your entire board or she doesn't kill anything. So
are we still sister?
I don't think I'd even want that added. So here are the removed traits. Sisters being removed. Academics are being removed. Imperials and Protectors. Sisters being removed because it's being replaced with Rival as to go with the lore with Arcane. You see what I'm saying? Rival will be Vi and what's her face? Okay, altered champs. So these are just maybe we'll let
kind
Mort
of a big one.
talk.
I don't think we've ever done. There are a lot of altered champs this time. So
I love when they do this. I love when they alter champs. By the way, I ask for this all the time. All the time, I ask for this shit. Because I think it's so cool if their abilities actually change. Like I think that's
what made us decide to do that? Because usually this is rare.
But only Vi's ability changes out of all of these.
I think like 4.
Or like they get corrupted and they change things. Like I wanted so bad in set 5. I wanted so bad for Karma to get like ruined by Viego. You know what I mean? Like there'd be like a, but instead they did it where the heroes were winning. But I wanted it to be like some units got corrupted and they turned into Forgottens and stuff like that. I thought that would have been so cool. But they ended up not doing that. They ended up just deleting a lot of the bad guy traits. And set 5. What a joke.
Like it turned out that we had a need in the new traits for a champion that fit that same general archetype.
Gotcha.
So at one point we were going to put in Hextech Annie. And we were like, but what if we just moved Swain?
Right.
Yeah.
To both reduce some learning and to make sure that we had the time we needed to spend on the big new exciting things.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Vi is... She got a bit of an upgrade, but we can talk about her and Jinx later.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about those. I think big things to talk on here, because again, we'll talk about Debonair and Hextech a little later as well. Echo being innovator is probably the biggest shakeup here. He's now triple trait. He was already
Echo's an innovator?
He also fits really well in...
Wait, Echo's broken. Why is he triple trait? Wait, what the fuck? And why is it not clockwork? Can we talk about this? No, it's fine. But like, is Echo not the best unit in the game? Are they not gonna have to like make his base stats like really shit? Because Echo is like one of the best units in the game. The whole set, honestly. Last set. He's so good. Now he's going to have 3 tags. What the hell? Normally they make units have multiple tags if their overall unit is like sucks. Like think about Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank doesn't suck, but Blitzcrank only does like one thing. So when Blitzcrank had Bodyguard, Protector, and Scrap, you know, Blitzcrank was such a good unit because he had those traits. Without those traits, he is like a fine unit to put into your build. But the reason why Blitz was so good last set is because you can pair him with Braum and Scion. Like that makes it like so good. And then it's also a Scrap, right? And Scrap is just so versatile. So you can add him to your build with a Braum, Scion, and then a Janna. And it just makes you so versatile. It's such good, clean synergies. And now you'll have that with Echo. But Echo could have no synergies and he would be a good unit. He could just be Scrap and you would still play him. You know what I mean?
Well,
cool. All right. So quick balance. The Scrap Innovator. Scrap Innovator gets a lot easier to play now.
Yep.
Yeah, with Ezreal and Echo kind of being paired together really well. Kassadin's a Scholar instead of a Protector, which is interesting. So you have to see how that plays out. But yeah, kind of a lot of altered champs here.
They talk about Vi already.
Big things to talk.
Both reduce some learning and to make sure that we had the time we needed to spend on the big new exciting things.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Vi is... She got a bit of an upgrade, but we can talk about her and Jinx later.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about those. I think big things to talk on here, because again, we'll talk about Debonair and Hextech a little later as well. Echo being innovator is probably the biggest shakeup here. He's now triple trait. He was already a good champion. He also fits really well into Scrap Innovator.
Oh, they're not going to talk about Vi here?
Play now. Yeah, with Ezreal and Echo kind of being paired together really well. Kassadin's a Scholar instead of a Protector, which is interesting. So you have to see how that plays out. But yeah, kind of a lot of altered champs here. to breeze through these.
Oh, they're not going to talk about her yet. Okay. All right, cool. We'll talk about Vi later. Yo, shit. I might just turn this into a video. Fuck it.
Colossus 1-stars were garbage, and then Colossus 2-stars were really, really, really good. Or in Cho's case, 3-star was just insane. So what we're doing is we're actually putting 1,000 of their health into the trait. This means their star scaling won't be as severe. So what that means is you'll actually see things like Cho'Gath 1-star and Galio 1-star be better, as they'll now have higher health pools, but 2-star and 3-star be worse, as they'll have lower health pools. Hopefully this helps make Colossus a little easier to play.
Cool. I'm down with that.
Socialite real quick, because there are 4.
Probably makes it easier to balance. They're going to keep messing with this so much, but this is a good balance lever, the base health. Good balance lever, honestly.
Socialites now. You don't quite get as big a bump for just throwing one in your comp. That got nerfed from 20% to 15%. But we did add a fun chase trait for 5 Socialite, where all of the bonuses are doubled. So you'll get 30% damage, 8 mana per second, 66%.
Yo, imagine you get all bonuses are double, and then you get like Share the Spotlight. I don't know if Share the Spotlight's still in the game, though.
Omnivamp if you can get 5 Socialite. And I cannot wait for the video of 5 Socialite with Share the Spotlight and Duet. That's going to be fun. And then finally, Mutant. I'm a little sad to say we didn't have time to add another Mutant variant. You know, we just have too much to do. We kind of bit off more than we could chew with this set.
Yeah, but they made 7 Mutant.
To make it up to you, we did add 7 Mutant finally. So all the variations have a new 7 Mutant variation. You can see here the Metamorphosis one is just more armor.
That's very good, because a lot of games, not a lot of games, but like some games I play Mutants, it feels like I could actually possibly play 7 Mutants. But I just never get to play it, because it doesn't exist. So I'm happy.
Go check those out. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are what you'd expect, but should be fun if you want to go for 7 Mutant. So, Chloe, any thoughts on this page before we move on to the good stuff?
I think my favorite new thing on this page is that we, in the Colossus tooltip, refer to Colossus champions as Colossi. I don't think that we called them that before. I think it used to say Colossus champions, but Colossi is delightful.
I hadn't caught.
You know what I just realized, guys? Is I have my audio feeding through... Wait a sec. Oh, no! It's lit.
That is
never mind.
Awesome. All right, let's go to...
I thought my audio is feeding through the same thing my music audio goes through, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be deleted from the VOD, and then I can't download this and make it into a video. I gotta remember to cut this part though. Cut. Sorry for your ears. That's how I know to cut.
The new stuff. Hextech. Chloe, why don't you tell us about Hextech?
If I turn this into a video, I'm not sure.
Hextech champions have a very special relationship with the Hex Core. The Hex Core pulses every
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Yep.
And each time it pulses, it gives all of the Hextech champions a shield. And as long as they have that shield, they deal bonus damage on hit. So what this is going to do on your front line, obviously, is they get shields, so they die less, which, you know, thumbs up. But on your backline units, Sivir and Lucian are both going to deal a lot more damage with it, especially as you get them up there in levels.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, the shield.
1 second. This might not be a video. Did you guys hear that? Oh, okay. Okay, we're going into maintenance. Okay, I see you.
Is for Hextech units.
I see you.
Not for their allies.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing that makes it the trickiest to play is you don't really splash into Hextech and be like, oh, my whole team gets a shield. This is definitely one of the more like vertical comps that you'll want to play like 4 or 6. I think it's very good in the early game. Jarvan and Nocturne plug and play pretty quick early. You'll notice that Sivir and Jarvan are both
10 magic damage.
Really
I guess that might be good.
And as
early
Chloe
game.
mentioned, the magic damage works really well with like Sivir's ability and Lucian's ability. Sivir's ability is the bouncing boomerangs, right, Chloe?
Yep.
Nice.
Correct. So that's a lot of bonus magic damage.
Yep. And then in addition, Alistar is the new Colossus replacing Sion. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Alistar is not quite as powerful as Sion, but makes up for it with extra beefiness. And the way he moves around is just kind of more fun. Does that sound about right, Chloe?
I think so.
I'm sad that Alistar's a Colossus because I feel like I won't play him as much. But maybe I'm wrong.
With excitement.
Yeah.
Because I want to play Alistar. I love Alistar.
I think the fact of when you can play him is going to feel pretty different.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's going to be a little bit easier. Although you're right, like Hextech isn't really a splash trait. It is a little bit easier to run than Imperial is. Just, I mean, 2 is less than 3. Shocking insight, I know.
Like I said, I think especially with 4 Hextech early and then pivot into an Alistar late game, like replace your Jarvan with your Alistar, that can be really good. So I don't think you actually have to go beyond 4, although you can. I think 8 is also insanely good. But yeah, this should be a really fun, and like I said, kind of one of the easier ones to play. But
I'm happy Lucian's back, and he has his double tap thing.
Any champions you want to highlight here?
Well, he has a Z. He has Relentless Pursuit.
I think none that we haven't kind of talked about already. Alistar and Sivir are the 2 here that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. The one thing I'll note is I think in the preview video, Lucian kind of showed that he was looking like his set 5 reprint, but actually he's more like a set 1 reprint with upgrades. He's not doing the crazy rapid fire ult. He's more the short mana dash pew pew kind of move. So yeah. Cool. All right, so that's Hextech. Now let's talk Debonair. So I'm going to walk through how Debonair works, and then we can talk about it, because it's a little confusing. But if you liked Chosen, Debonair's the trait for you, and I think the team did a great job with this. So the trait itself...
I thought this was cool integration.
Health, AP, nothing special. But as you play the game, whether or not you have Debonair active, you might see VIPs in your shop. You'll notice, for example, on this card, the Leona there has that VIP marking. If you buy Leona, you have the VIP version of Leona. You can only have one VIP, just like Chosen. You can buy as many, they come in your shop whether or not you have the trait active. If you have the trait active, they will show up way more. So if you want to play Debonair, I think the rate's like 75%, so they'll show up a lot. But you basically get to pick who is your VIP, and then
if there is a Debonair VIP in play, they're active. Hold on.
and the VIP has a special ability. And so I'm going to switch to the next slide here.
What was he talking about? You get bonus odds? What the fuck?
Way more. So if you want to play Debonair, I think the Leona. You can only have one VIP, just like Chosen. You can buy as many, they come in your shop whether or not you have the trait active.
Right.
If you have the trait active, they will show up way more. So if you want to play Debonair, I think the rate's like 75%. So they'll
Oh, he's just saying that VIP will show up more often if you have the Debonair trait active. I thought what he was saying to me was if you have Debonair trait active, regardless whether you have VIP or not, that you would have a higher odds of receiving Debonair units, but you just have a higher odds of the Debonair units that you do receive will be VIP'd if you have the trait active and you don't have VIP, and you sold your VIP. That makes that makes
They'll
sense.
show up a lot, but you basically get to pick who is your VIP.
I was about to say, man.
And then the VIP has a special ability. And so I'm going to switch to the next slide here. And you can see, for example, Brand has his normal ability where he shoots a fireball, but if he's the VIP, he shoots a second fireball. And so you get to choose who your VIP is and which of these special effects do you want. Does that about cover it, Chloe?
Yep.
Whoa. So the way Brand's ability works, Brand launches a fireball to the nearest enemy, lighting them ablaze for 4 seconds, dealing 1,000 or 100 magic damage. If the enemy is already on fire, they take 150 magic damage, which stuns them for 1 second. Oh, just the VIP bonus throws the fireball. Oh, okay. When I read Brand's ability earlier today, I thought that his second fireball always went to the furthest enemy. But no, just when he's VIP, he throws 2 fireballs. But one goes to the furthest enemy, which is pretty cool. Wow, I could see a reroll Brand build where he's VIP. I love the idea of them having Chosen, but just in a small way. I thought Chosen was so fun, but it was also such bullshit. So I'm because you could get a 4-cost Chosen on level 7. Come on. But I'm happy Chosen is back, but just in a really small way. I think it's pretty cool because I think Chosen is cool. It's fun. But it's like bullshit if it's like 2. Anyways, what's the other for VIPs? Force of Will's impact is larger. What is that ability? Talon's Bleed now deals true damage. Force of Will. Who says Force of Will? Whose ability's name is called Force of Will? Every second, Leona heals herself for 50. Wow. Draven gains infinite range and ignores 50% armor. Zeri electrified duration lasts until the Force of Will. Oh, is that Syndra's ability? Yeah, that is Syndra's ability. Yeah, Syndra's a copy from set 5.
It's down Leona. I believe it was
Personally looking forward to insane. Why would you need RFC when you have Syndra's the reprint that throws, Talon's back, Brand's a new champion, and Draven, we mentioned, is kind of back with that VIP twist. I think we're going to see a lot of people play 3 Debonair. I think 3 Debonair.
Yeah, Draven is set 5 Draven, or set 1 Draven. Or in set 1 Draven, is that what he did?
Debonair's going to be very popular to get that VIP bonus.
Did he ever do Whirling Death at some point?
We'll see about 5 and 7, but 5 costs. Zeri, you want to talk about this?
Yes. So this champion took a little while to land on, but she landed in a really exciting place. So
Zeri has invaded TFT, guys. Watch out.
She fires directional bullets, and specifically when she, after she ults, she starts to fire piercing bullets. So the directional bullets, meaning they're going to hit the first thing that they hit, not like an auto attack, but like any other aimed missile. To reflect how she works in League. But the really, really exciting thing is going to be after she ults, she's going to get much more powerful attacks that also pierce. So with some clever positioning, you're going to be able to hit the back line and deal them a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This is an example of, I think, some pretty good Zeri items. She's really, her scaling is with AP. And then, of course, static shiv when she's firing all those bullets is a lot of static, as is appropriate for Zeri, as she deserves.
Yeah, the 2 things I'll note here is the first one is if you look at their scaling, you'll
Yeah, she's like the new Kaisa. Is Kaisa still in the game though? But she reminds me of Kaisa.
Notice it says 16% of their attack damage for 5 bullets. That's only 80%.
She has like good AoE. She's a good Shiv user, attack speed based.
This is not an AD champion. Don't think you're going to be clever and put Deathblade IE. It won't be very good. You want to put AP items on this champion.
Dude, you already know there's going to be a patch where AD Zeri is going to be.
That's how she scales. But the thing I'll mention is, as Chloe talked about, they're a sniper and they have piercing bullets, which means they can hit the back line.
Yo, if it's a sniper and you like, it's gonna be like, you know how Kaisa, if you end up building her AD, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not that bad. You know, if you end up getting like Runeans, you have like Dark Star or something, it's really not that bad. But it's definitely not optimal. But with sniper, I'm sure there'll be a patch where AD Zeri is pretty decent because she's a sniper. Because the bounce with the AD damage actually, not the bounce, but you know what I mean. It pierces, so it goes to the end. As well as it would scale on her static thingy. Does her static thingy count as ability? If it does, she's just gonna be Kaisa, isn't she? Because you could just build Morello. Wouldn't Morello be pretty good?
From far away. Like if you get stuck on like a Galio or an Alistar, don't worry about it because those piercing bullets go right through, hit the back line. You get that big sniper bonus because again, sniper is based off range and she can pump out a lot of damage. And if you're lucky enough to get a VIP,
oh, I bet Morello is pretty good on her, but not as good as Kaisa because Kaisa actually like goes. You know what I'm saying?
That ability lasts the whole time. So she casts once, rest of the match she's dashing around, shooting these bullets. She is pretty crazy. I was calling her like Lucian 3.0. She's pretty good.
Is there an AD 5 cost? Or am I tripping? Other than Jinx?
Nice, cool. So yeah, that's Debonair chosen in a trait with their 5 costs.
Jace.
Let's keep going.
This is boring of something that is an AD carry though.
Complete opposite direction of complexity. Let's talk about Striker. Chloe, what does Striker do?
Utility.
Striker frees up the dev.
Oh guys, I'm so excited for Irelia. Holy shit, I'm so excited. It's cybernetic Irelia, guys. Oh god.
Team to spend more
So
time
juicy.
on Hextech and Debonair.
It's
It's also very powerful, no joke. It is a lot of AD, especially as you get up there. Sivir's gonna wreck kids.
I'm not a big Sivir gamer. Sivir is just how Sivir's always been. Like in set 2, set 3. Or not. Set 4. 4.5. Her attacks just bounce.
If you've got in, so
Not
Striker.
a big Sivir
I mean,
gamer.
so is
boring,
everyone
honestly.
else. It's got a spatula, so you know, imagine the possibilities.
Nope. Yeah, Striker's a pretty simple trait. It's one of our classes. It just says
I don't know.
AD,
She's kind of fun. But...
makes these champions a lot better. I think Irelia is another one that uses it really well. If you remember, this is Irelia from set 3, where she dashes around with that low mana cost.
It's cybernetic.
Getting that AD means she gets really good scaling, really good resets, and can dash around, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Rek'Sai is actually a new version of Rek'Sai. Is that correct?
Oh no, I think so. Is she a reprint?
I don't think she's a reprint. I think she's just a new, like, kind of a take on Trundle, right? Where like, she bites and steals armor
Yeah.
instead of AD.
Yeah, Rek'Sai.
So a pretty basic champion.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, you scared me.
no, I think I'm pretty sure new. And then Gnar is actually a new version
Sorry, I
also.
keep
This
looking
is not
at
reprint Gnar,
Mortdog's
right?
Twitter.
So this Gnar does have some similarities to Gnar from set. What was it?
Galaxies and the original. Set 1 and 3.
Yeah, he's definitely a little similar. But the spell is very much not the same. And I mean, he's a different cost, right?
He gets big. He doesn't knock people up.
Not exactly slacking as a 4 cost, so he obviously couldn't stay exactly like he was. He still, you know, transforms into Mega Gnar. It would almost be a tragedy for him not to.
Yep.
Throws Boulder.
Yeah.
But he just deals damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, if you're a Yordle fan, what kind
He doesn't like stun the entire board or like old thing. I don't even know why they even brought up old Gnar. Like why they like, it just confuses people. He just gets big and throws a rock, guys.
of happened is Tristana was the 2-cost AD champion, and Heimer was the 3-cost AP champion. Now it's reversed. Corki is the 2-cost AP champion, and Gnar is the 3-cost AD champion. So Gnar scales really well with AD. You get him a lot of AD. Those boulders he throws hits really hard. So that should be a cool twist for the Yordle players out there as well.
Yeah. Plus a little bit more heft for Yordle.
That's true, with HP, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Okay, other new champions. I think this is one of the more surprising slides because when you think of a mid-set, it's like, well, they added some new traits, so they need to add champions here. But
guys, I'm so sad about Ashe. I'm so sad. They added Ashe back. She just fires her volley, her W. I'm so sad. I wish she had her Q. I'm sad.
But here we added 9 other champions, some of which we talked about, some of which we haven't. I realize I put Gnar on here twice. Oops.
Tryndamere is a reskin of set 4. Tryndamere? But he's a 3-cost. So that's pretty cool. Because he's also a challenger and Warwick is still in the game. So like reroll Chemtech's gonna be such a simple build to play. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty cool. And I do like that he's a 3-cost because Tryndamere was a toxic champion at a 4-cost, man. 4-cost, I hated Tryndamere, but I liked his design. But he was like 2 OP at 4 cost because he would dash into your backline, you have no counterplay. But since he's a 3 cost,
but otherwise, yeah, we've got Corki, Ashe.
It'll feel a little bit easier to play against at 2-star than his 4 cost version.
Morgana, Senna, Tryndamere, Ahri, Kha'Zix, and Renata Glask. Any you want to talk about here?
Nice.
Yes. The first thing I want to talk about is Morgana and Senna. The two of them combined, added to Enchanter, gives Enchanter, makes Enchanter a little bit more of a, not that you like.
Oh, is she about to say like reroll Senna? Do a reroll Enchanter build instead of reroll Scholars?
Enchanter wasn't good before, but makes it more of a comp on its own. Obviously, you can't.
Ooh, I like the idea of that. Playing Enchanter bodyguards, but they're 3 costs, so you can reroll them. You know, instead of playing like Ori Braum, you know, it's, you know, you play Senna Morgana, you're rerolling those, rerolling your Leona. Okay, I'm seeing the tech. I'm down.
Just run for Enchanter. You couldn't afford the units to do that at a time when you had only 4 units to play.
Yep.
But Morgana is going to be a tank, and Senna is going to be an AD carry, which is a really cool, I think, new dynamic.
Yeah, she has her Q.
For Enchanter, play around and to have to be able to itemize something with AD to deal damage and to get healing out of it for your other units is exciting on Senna. And then Morgana is actually a selfish Enchanter. She just shields herself. But as long as she's shielded, she sends out chains which deal damage for, again, as long as she's shielded. And if the shield...
Oh, she doesn't get a magic shield? She gets a base shield? That's pretty sick.
Expires, so finishes its timer before it is destroyed, she does a big stun. You're not going to get that stun if you try to itemize her for just damage.
But guys, GA is not a thing anymore, so you can't GA Morgana. But they replaced it with Edge of Night. I feel like Edge of Night would work
instead, because you need to keep that shield up to get the stun off.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really excited about her.
Yeah.
Edge of Night is nothing like how it is in League, though. This is a League item.
Senna in particular, I think, is really cool because, like you said, it's an Enchanter that wants AD items. The damage scales off AD and then heals based off the damage. That's such a cool design. I really like that one. I'm going to talk about Tryndamere and Kha'Zix real quick. Tryndamere is kind of a reprint of set 4.5.
Yeah, hit me up with Tryndamere.
But as a 3 cost. So he's a little weaker. Yeah. But being Chemtech and Challenger really helps him out. Really good backline access. Jumps in, spins around like he did before. He's scary as a 3 cost. So I think...
Yeah, I love Tryndamere. I think he's so cool. But I hated him as a 4 cost. He felt too unfair.
I think 3 cost fits him much better than
4 let's go.
Did.
Let's go, Chloe.
He's at home now.
Yep. Yeah, it's really fun when you get him like 2-1 also from like a box or something.
Okay, Chloe, I see.
He's a fun champ. And then Kha'Zix is a version of his set 2, so very powerful late game assassin. I think healthier than Shaco, to be honest, too, without the like full aggro drop. But yeah, he jumps around, does those big old crits. And what's really fun now is because he's mutant, there's all those different variations of mutant you can play with. For example, Synaptic Web, you can get his mana cost down to like...
Dude, I'm really excited there's a 4 cost mutant that's a carry. You know what I mean? That sounds really fun. Sounds like you can consistently hit this. You know what I mean? Because it's 4 cost. You know, a lot of time you play mutants and you're just like, all right, I just needed a Kai'Sa 1. Needed a Kai'Sa 1, and my comp comes together. I hate that.
Like nothing. And
I mean, it'd still be like that.
Crazy.
Kai'Sa's still in the game, I think.
The Blade Master version where he can just auto attack like crazy with his IE. So Kha'Zix is also a lot of fun. So
the Void Predator.
Yeah, I'm excited to try Kha'Zix.
True damage Kha'Zix. Woo.
Absolutely batshit.
Yep. All right, why don't you talk about Ahri? Because it's 4 cost Ahri, but it is not a reprint, right?
It is not a reprint, although we did kind of joke about her in a way being a set 3 reprint.
Of Syndra?
Of Ahri.
Oh, okay.
So in set 3, Ahri sent out her orb as is her prerogative. And we were like,
yo, I'm with Mort here. I forgot as well.
Like, what if
I barely played set 3. I played a lot of set 3.5.
We started there, and then what can we do to make that, a 4 cost? And I kind of joked to Linda. I was like, what if every time she sends out an orb, the next time she sends out another orb? And Linda was like, Chloe? Yes, let's do literally exactly that. Why are you joking about?
It gives her that how she used replacing Lux. It kind of gives her that, how Lux gets stronger as the fight goes, but it's not because of Lux. It's because of her trait, because of Arcanist, or not Arcanist, Academy. But they removed Academy, and they added her, and they made her a Syndicate, and they make it to where she gets stronger every time she casts, but she's a Syndicate. So by the time she's the last one left, she's guaranteed to heal, even if you only have 3 Syndicate. So her design is really awesome. I really like her design. And they made her orb range longer than it was.
About this, Chloe, this is serious business.
Yep. He can hit backline.
So as Ahri's going to be a stacking champion, sort of like, I wanted to say sort of like Karma from set 5, but it's not really the same.
I think it's closer to Syndra with the orbs from set 3, but...
Yeah, it definitely is, I think, closer to that than it is to anything else that.
Yeah, I like how I described it. Stacking in the way that Lux stacks with her trait, but yeah, her ability cast, I would not say it's like the two examples that you said.
We've done before that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when she gets up there, there's a lot of orbs on this screen.
Yeah. It's a really cool.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking champ. Like you said, especially when she gets like the 6th or 7th orb, and it's just.
Yeah, I'm really excited to make like a stall comp with Ahri carry. That sounds really
wave
fun.
of shadowy darkness.
That sounds real
fun.
Really
cool
just like
which works really well with both with the Syndicate, I think.
Yeah.
Syndicate champions working well with some survivability. Makes sense for them and makes investing in Syndicate feel like it's paying off.
For sure. Right, tell me about the Renata.
And then finally, we got to talk about Renata Glask. Now, I don't know much about the champ, to be honest. In fact, for a long time, as y'all were developing the set, I'm just like, who is this? I don't get it. But I will say, playing the champion, it's one of those things that might be a contender for Malzahar for me, because what Renata Glask does is she shoots out this wave of poison, and the poison does a lot of damage over 15 seconds. So if you remember Cassiopeia, it's kind of like that, but AoE. And 15-second damage AoE dot is pretty fun. Uses Morello really well. And honestly, you see Chemtech Scholar, Renata fits in any comp. I've played her in so many different comps where it's just like slap 2 Scholar and a Shojin.
Ooh, that sounds fun, dude. That sounds really fun. He has an AoE dot. That sounds so fun.
On them in the back line with some great front line. And Renata is a really flat.
I heard she's not very good right now as a carry. But, you know, obviously, you know, she's going to be balanced.
Yeah. I'm really excited about her. Renata Glask is a very flexible carry. I'm really excited about her as one of the.
Yeah, is she going to be a splash utility unit like Cassio? But that's like halfway damage, halfway. Oh, man, she's going to be just like Cassio. Let's go. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Because you'll pair her with like an actual DPS and she'll side DPS, right? I mean, if you play like Chemtex or something and you play like Victor or like Victor, you play like reroll challengers with like Tryndamere or Warwick, and then she's like your extra damage. She's your second or third DPS. Oh, I'm so excited to play Renata. What up, Jorge?
I want to say as the carry for Scholar, but yeah. Hold on.
True.
That she's so exciting to play. If she's anything like Cassio, man. Oh, that's so exciting. Because if you guys didn't play set 4, what Cassio did is Cassio had this huge AoE stun. And it did decent damage, and you could itemize her as a damage carry, but it wasn't like that good. But like, you know, you could throw leftover AP items on her, and sometimes like she would just pop the fuck off. I mean, it's so position based because she would throw it right in front of her. And it seems like Renata does the same thing. It's very positioned. So if you get her in front of the enemy team, but she just deals damage. But I'm still really excited about like that. I loved positioning Cassio. It was so fun. When is PBE live? My PBE client just started to update. I am just on Mortdog Twitter watch right now. We're just waiting. We're waiting for it to go live. Yeah, we're just in a waiting room.
True. Cool. All right. Well, that's a bunch of the new champs. Shall we?
It goes live anytime now.
Let's do it.
All right. Why don't you talk about Rival, and then I'll talk about Vi and Jinx. So what happened with Sister and Rival? What's going on here?
Same time for EU and NA? Yeah.
We're not sisters anymore, I guess is the answer.
Yeah, PBE is a global server, so yeah, it's a yeah.
So Jinx and Vi.
Oh shit.
One, they connected some comps together. Not obviously a ton of different ones, but you know, Bruiser, Enforcer to Scrap, Twin Shot.
Yep.
And one thing we thought about as part of our goals was like, can we sever that connection? And the answer was like, oh yeah, we can totally sever that connection. It makes a ton of thematic sense. And as you can see, Vi has grown up some. She's now using her.
Yo, I wanted Vi to be a 4-cost so bad. I thought that'd be so cool if they made her Vi into 4-cost.
I guess she has aged.
Yeah, and she uses her base splash. I think that shit is so cool. And Jinx uses her base splash. Oh, cool.
Into her base splash. And Rival is
12.4, let's go!
If you have Rival active...
All right, guys, no video, sorry.
Rival is active when you have only one of them in. That's what I meant by breaking them apart. Unlike Sister, where obviously literally the opposite is true.
Wait, what?
But if you have Vi in and you put Jinx in, Vi goes from 20 mana per cast to 40 mana per cast, which...
Oh, wait, it's not live. Yeah, they changed Vi's ability as well. Yeah. They made her into a 4-cost.
Nothing to sneeze at. It's a pretty
big
deal.
That's what I wanted.
Yep.
Jinx's bonus is the same.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, let me talk about the champs a bit. So Vi is a brand new champion, 4-cost now. They've upgraded. But the big thing here, I'm gonna tell you right now, is like the challenger level player in the room for a second. Vi is probably the most important champ in the set. If you liked set 4 Riven, you'll love Vi. Vi is very similar. 20 mana, has a spell that she casts very quickly. Punch, punch, and then the third one is a big AoE slam. Sounds kind of familiar. Uses all sorts of good itemization. You can give her defensive items. You can give her AP items. You can give her offensive items. What's really interesting is because she's Enforcer Bruiser, her traits don't scale her that much, which means her base stats, her base damage is really high. So this champion is really good to throw in just about any comp. You get leftover items, really good user of Thieves' Gloves, things like that. Vi is...
She is Riven. Dude, if she is as versatile as Riven was, man, oh my god. They added Riven and Cassio back. Those are like the all-time people's like most favorite units. I mean, my all-time favorite units are Riven, Cassio, in no order. Riven, Cassio, Ashe, Jhin. Those are my favorite units. And all of them, the set 4 version of them. And they added 2 units that mimic them. And then they two units that mimic 2 of those, and then Jhin and Ashe is in the set, but not how I like them. But whatever. It's fine. Did they added Cassio and Riven back? Or are we
so good in this set?
The theming,
I promise you, Vi
very
is
similar.
S+, you're gonna love throwing Vi into comps. Yeah. And then Jinx, I think we do have to talk about Jinx a little bit. Jinx is a champion that kind of struggled in the first half of the set. Could get a good ult and maybe some good damage, but
what is he talking about? Struggle I thought she was struggled the second half of the set because you guys nerfed her literally like 7 patches in a row. Now it's more like 4, but what is he talking about? Jinx was lit beginning of the set.
Stuck on like a Scion or jump in the backline and die unless you had a GA, and she still kind of does that, but she's grown up and she's a little crazier. So after she ults, instead of just firing at the same target over and over, every time she fires now, she switches targets. And so she'll shoot here and here and here, and it's just like she's gone crazy, can get some big AoE damage. It means she won't get stuck on frontline anymore. Still pumps out a crap load of damage. So Jinx...
She constantly changes aggro?
Should also be a little bit better here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Another great thing...
I mean, yeah, I do agree she gets stuck on frontline sometimes.
About Jinx is slide transition.
All right, slide transition.
Yeah, another great thing about Jinx is she's going to rock with Silco.
I like Chloe. She seems cool. I've never seen her before.
You want your Jinx to get, obviously, her spell off as fast as possible. Silco's #1 job, get first casts of spells off as fast as possible. Or #1 job through his trait, sorry.
Yep.
Roger made a really funny joke in one of our the write-ups. You can go check out on the website, but I can't get it out of my head, so I'll share it with y'all.
Oh, that'll be so fun to use as an 8. Oh, that is so fun. Wow, there's gonna be so much tech around him. It sucks that there's no GA anymore, because you could like GA him and put him in second row to like make a big frontliner cast.
Power comes not to those who are like the fastest or the strongest or the smartest. It comes to those who stand directly in front of Silco.
Yeah.
All right, that is pretty good. That is pretty good.
The 2 units that stand right in front of Silco are going to gain 40% of their maximum mana as starting mana. Yep. Which for some units is enough to, with maybe a mana item or 2, cast immediately when combat starts.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, Galio is one of my favorites, but Galio...
Sorry, I'm gonna keep trying to launch
40% of his 300 mana pool is a lot of mana. But yeah, this is a really cool positioning thing also, where it's like, who do you want Silco behind, and who is he going to sort of coax into power with his Mastermind trait? You get those 2 blue hexes, figure out where you want them. It's a cool positioning puzzle. I really like the Mastermind design. I think that turned out well. Is it a little overpowered? I think it's cool. We'll see. That's what PvE's for. We can always lower that number if we need to, but it is still a really cool trait.
I'm excited about it. I think this trait's going to be exciting. Nice. Could stay exciting even if it did get hit a bit. So
oh yeah,
that's always what you want.
So speaking of Silco, since he is our last champion we're talking about, what does he do, Chloe?
Yeah, so Silco, sorry, I was going to say Silco takes dev time from Striker.
True.
Yeah, Silco, sorry, I don't want to not talk about how much work from the art team especially went into getting Silco just to exist at all.
Yeah.
Right now, Silco doesn't have any voice lines.
Yeah, because he had no base. They had no base design to go off of.
So he still have some like sounds that he plays. But in a few patches, he will. It's going to be the same voice lines from the show, which is super exciting. It's super exciting that Silco is a TFT only unit. You can play Silco in one place, and it is 6.5 TFT.
True.
And what he does is he turns his friends into giant monsters, and then those friends explode. But before they explode, they gain a bunch.
Yeah, he gives them like Chemtech overload or whatever.
Bunch of attack speed, immunity to crowd control. They get the chance to deal a bunch of damage, and then they die, dealing even more damage to surrounding enemies. Something I think I would be remiss not to point out is that this is not good Silco itemization, objectively. Yeah. But on the other hand, big purple boy go boom.
I bet he's gonna be really good with like Sogen or Rageblade.
Nice. Yeah, Silco's a lot of fun, and to give you an idea, his mana cost is really low. Actually, it's only like I think 60. So he's going to cast this spell a lot.
Oh, okay. So he'd be good with blue buff or Rageblade for his mana gen, not Sojin.
And as you can see here on the Tryndamere, you get a bunch of health, which makes it harder to kill, and a bunch more damage. This is really cool, but...
Oh, it's really cool doing like QSS. QSS, Rageblade... I don't know. Scales with AP? QSS Rageblade Death Cap?
It does have that drawback of like it only lasts 8 seconds. For example, if you're running a Cho'Gath 3 with like 10,000 health, maybe you don't want to run a Silco that's going to cause it to self-destruct in 8 seconds.
That sounds pretty sick.
In other cases, that Silco can be the difference between winning and losing as he powers up your team and just become monsters that they can't really get through. This is a lot of fun. And then of course 3-star Silco basically instantly makes 5 people giant and big. And that's pretty crazy. And then when they explode, they do 5,000 damage. So 3-star Silco, really fun too. But yeah, Silco, again, because he's just Mastermind Scholar, will fit into a lot of comps.
Dude, you know what would suck? If you like you had like a frontline DPS and you turn them into a big thing, but they're like a life leech, like it's like Irelia, but she actually would have like survived the entire combat and 1v9'd. And like she really didn't want that buff and then she dies. I mean, I know the buff is insane, so it's probably worth still, but that'd be
has that cool positioning puzzle.
It'd be funny if you're building a stall comp and then you accidentally ulted your stall ADC. And they just killed themselves.
And then that fun combat problem of like, do I want my guys to be big? Are they going to explode? Who's he going to target? It's a lot of fun. I think Silco turned out really good.
Yeah, that Silco is going to be really fun to play around, but also like a little tilting sometimes. I can already tell. Like for the player who's playing. Silco.
All right, well that is it for the champs and traits. Chloe, anything you want to say to wrap this up? This video is coming out about noonish or so everyone's going to be going to PBE in a few hours. Any thoughts?
Not really. I've communicated everything about the set that I wanted to communicate. Nice. I too am excited about Vi. That's something I didn't say.
Nice. Cool. Well, have fun with this. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is just how much of a shakeup this is. This should feel like almost like a full new set. And that doesn't even talk about the system stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the second video. So that video should be up now if you want to check that out. There's even more to talk about. This is just the champs and traits, but man, they're awesome. Cool. Team worked their butt off on these.